8:30. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. So briefly, this was last week. We talked about options. That is what I trade. I'm gonna do a quick just recap of options. Basically, there are contracts that gives the buyer the right but not the obligation to buy or sell 100 shares of a stock at a set price, which is called the strike price, before or on a certain expiration date. Okay, so if you are betting that a stock is going to go up, you're going to be buying call options. If you are betting that a stock is going to go down, you're going to be buying put options. Okay, each contract represents 100 shares. Call is the right to buy, puts are the right to sell. You have your strike price, which is essentially like your target price of the contract. You have your expiration date, which is your deadline for the contract. You have a premium, which is the cost of a contract. And now after the second part series of this, we'll go more into depth, but I just want to kind of reiterate that I am talking about trading options. And so on the 2-part series, I'm going to go into basically behaviors of the stock and what you're looking for before you get into trading options. Okay, so that's just a brief recap of that, and I'm going to do a dedicated part to candlesticks too, but we're going to break it down because it was a crash course and I know it was a lot. So when you're trading, there's a system, okay? You should have a system that you follow. So my system, I named it the 4S system. So you have your sector. So that means you're trying to find where the money is flowing, like what sector is moving. The second element is your structure. So when you see whatever sector is moving and you find your stocks within that sector, then you want to find the structure, the market structure of that stock, whatever stock you're looking at. Okay, there's 3 possible structures. You can be in an uptrend, a downtrend, or you can be consolidating. Okay, the next step was setup, where you find your setup on the chart, and then the other one was strike, where you actually enter the trade and how you're going to execute. Today we are just covering sector and structure. That's it. And then next Saturday we'll do the setup and strike. So sector is where the money is flowing. Before entering any trade, you need to know what group of stocks are being favored by institutions for that day or whatever time period you're looking at. These big institutions, they don't buy one stock at a time. They rotate their money into sectors, tech, energy, financials, etc. Okay, this matters because if your stock sector is weak, your setup has a lower chance of following through, even if the chart looks good. Okay, so example, Apple is in the tech sector. Apple could have a good setup individually, but if the tech sector isn't doing too well, your chances of Apple executing whatever play you think is going to be a lower probability. You want the sector to be lining up with the stocks. Okay, not saying that it won't work, but the probability is lower. And with trading, we should all know that it's like a probability game. You want a stock. If you're bullish on a stock, you need the setup to be more likely to be successful than not. Okay, it's all a numbers game. All right. So things to look for in your sector: if your price is trending above like the VWAP or any EMAs, the moving averages, that would be bullish. If they're not, that would be bearish signs. Okay, if there's strong green volume bars and the momentum is up, that is a sign of the sector being bullish. If you don't have that volume or momentum, that's a sign of it being bearish. If multiple tickers within the sector are trending the same direction, that is a bullish sign. So you want, like, in tech, you have Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, a lot of other ones. So if there's multiple stocks in an uptrend, then yes, you want it to all be aligned. Well, multiple anyways, not all of them. So example, if Nvidia, AMD, and TSM are all green, that will suggest that semiconductors are strong. Now, semiconductors is not a sector, but it is an industry within the tech sector. So you can look at that too. You have different industries within the sector. Okay. But Nvidia, AMD, and TSM are all in the tech sector. So if JPM, which is JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, if those are all red, that would suggest that the financial sector is weak. Okay. So before trading, you should open the S&P 500 sector list. Now, if you were on last week's live, I also gave the PDF link, and I think that's in the Discord as well. And it showed the app that I use when I'm looking at the sectors, which I think I have a picture of it on here too. It's called the Sector SPDR Sector app. Well, I don't have the name of it, but it looks like this. And I can't pull it up on the computer, but hold on, let me see if I have a... This is the front page of it, but it's called the SPDR Sector app. You can look at it in the App Store. Okay, so I use that app to look at the sectors. And we're going to get back down to that in a minute. So before you start trading, if you're getting ready, you're trying to find a trade to get in for the day or whatever, open anything that's going to give you the sectors. Okay, identify like 1 to 2 strongest sectors and then your weakest 2 sectors. Okay, and you should only trade in the direction of the sector strength. This alone will filter out 60% of bad trades. Okay, so if financials are weak, if that sector is weak, you want to look to play puts on financial stocks. Okay, if tech sector is trending up and doing good, you want to be looking to play calls, okay, in those stocks within that sector. Okay, these are all of the sectors of the S&P 500. There's 11 main sectors. You have your tech sector, communication, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, financials, healthcare, industrials, energy, materials, utilities, and real estate. And these are the ticker symbols for the sectors. Okay, now just some examples of stocks in the tech is Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD. Communications, you have Meta, Google, Netflix. Consumer discretionary, you have Tesla, Amazon, Nike. Consumer staples, you have, I think that's Kroger, Procter & Gamble, Walmart. Financials, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Healthcare, you have United Healthcare, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer. Where are we at? Industrials, you have that's Caterpillar, Boeing, UPS. Energy, the oil sector, you have ExxonMobil, CVX, which is Chevron. Materials, you have NEE, which is Numa, I believe. You have LIN and UE. And I honestly don't even know which ones those are. Yeah, I use ChatGPT. Utilities, you have NEE, you have Duke Energy, real estate sector, AMT, PLD, and O. I know this is Prologis. Okay, so those are sectors and some examples. So now before you actually pick your stocks and look at your charts, you want to say which sector is strongest today, which is weakest. Okay, if XLK is green with strong volume, you prioritize Apple, for example. If XLC is stagnant, choppy, you want to avoid stocks such as Meta. If XLE is breaking highs, you want to look to play calls on stocks like ExxonMobil. Okay, you don't choose your stocks by what you're feeling. You're choosing based on institutional money flow, where the money is flowing. Okay, now, these are some visuals. Like I said, this is the app, and this was current as of last Friday. This is how the sectors closed last Friday. Okay, now tech was up. Tech performed the best. And who did the worst? Energy. Okay, so if I'm looking for things to trade next week, I'm basing it off of this data right here. Okay, so a lot of money was flowing into tech. A lot of money coming out of energy. So within that app, once you click on the tech sector, it's going to give you the top holdings of that sector. So in the tech sector, you have NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Palantir, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, Oracle, so on, so on. NVIDIA is the top holding. Okay, so NVIDIA will move it the most. And then so on and so on, referencing the weight of whatever stock, okay? So you can pick, I typically go with one of the first ones. It just depends what sector it is. I do like to trade Apple a lot in this, but I love Palantir too. And just because Palantir is down here don't mean nothing. We all know Palantir moves a lot. So, you want to, each sector, you want to have like 1 to 2 stocks that you like to trade. So I have go-tos like Apple and Palantir. I think I trade those the most out of tech. I mean, I do trade the other ones, but those are like my go-tos. So you want to kind of limit it to 1 or 2 that you get really familiar with and like study those stocks so that you know, okay, tech is booming, I'm going to Palantir. Okay, tech is booming, I'm going to Apple. Okay. So now some examples. This is the... Let me see if y'all can see this. Okay, this is the XLK, which is the tech sector based off of it performing the best. I pulled up the tech sector chart just to kind of show you guys why did you choose those companies over others. So Apple, because as a beginner, like when I was learning, everyone said that Apple is a good stock for beginners. So Apple was like one of the first stocks that I learned. They say it's good for beginners because it has a lot of volatility. It gets a lot of movement, and it's good to trade. So I just think I always stuck with Apple. Palantir, I just really like Palantir. I own shares of Palantir. I got in Palantir at, I think, like $22. So I just know Palantir. I'm always watching it. I'm always watching their fundamentals and their charts. I'm just very familiar with Palantir. So that would be the only reason. It's really just, it's your personal preference. Because, I mean, you would want to trade something you're familiar with, right? Like, I know how Palantir moves. I know most of its levels, its support and resistance. I know how much it can move in a day. And, yeah, so that would be why I picked those over the other ones. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, so XLK, this is the chart for the tech sector, right? Now, if we're looking, here are some things that, how do I move? I really need to learn how to like broadcast from the screen. Anyways, so here are some things. I don't know how close it is on the screen, but I hope you guys can see it good. So here are some things that, like I said, where is it? Some of the confluences you want to look for. the prices above, moving averages, volume, momentum, and ticker symbols going the same direction. Okay, so on XLK, I'm going to show you some of the confluences that check out that align with this stock doing good. So this white line is my 21-day moving average. This blue line is my 50-day moving average. And this purple is the 200. So one of the things to check is, if they're trending above your moving averages, which they are, and if the moving averages are aligned with each other, like if they're going the same direction and they're not all entangled and stuff, which all that checks out for XLK, right? Down here, these dots I have, let me get in closer. This is a momentum indicator, and I have it on average of 50 days. So for me, when those dots get above the red line, that means the momentum is high. And it's letting me know that money is flowing in there. Like the volume is picking up, money's going in there. The momentum of that stock is up. Like if it's above the red, it's like trending up, uptrend calls. I have a bullish bias, okay? Now, if the dots were under, like the momentum is decreasing, and I would probably consider puts, okay? So that's another confluence. So you have your moving averages, I have the momentum indicator, and then the volume bars. For me, these are your regular volume bars, but I also have the volume average indicator on there, which is going to give you the average volume of the stock for whatever period. I think it's on, I don't know, I have it on the default. I don't know if it's measuring 50 days or 21 days. I don't really remember. I just leave it on the default. But if the bars are over the average line, that yellow line, that's good. That's what you want. You want the volume to be well above average, okay? So this is the weekly chart, and for last week, we're over the volume average. The prior week was very high, but we still had good volume this week as well, okay? Another confluence for me on that is relative strength. Okay, now relative strength will compare a stock to the general market. Okay, so on this relative strength, it is comparing whatever stock to the S&P 500. Okay, now if the line is trending way above the red, that means said stock is outperforming the market. What platform are we looking at? Good question. I am on Thinkorswim, which is Charles Schwab. They bought that out from TD Ameritrade. So I'm on Thinkorswim. You're welcome. Sorry, I should have said that. I also do use TradingView as well. I'm going to be switching to TradingView in a minute. And if you weren't here earlier, I talked about the Discord link in the bio where it has the replay of last week's course. And I also show you guys I use TradingView. I showed some things on Robinhood and Thinkorswim. Do you have an ebook? Not yet. I'm working on it, though. I am actually trying to work on that. Okay. So, yeah, relative strength. So it's comparing to the broader market, right? So I have the tech sector pulled up, ETF. So it is outperforming the general market as a whole, okay? So you want your relative strength to be high, okay? Outperforming the market. If it was under that, it's underperforming the market. And I have some examples of that too that we'll get to. Let me see. So now I took a shot of NVIDIA. This is all of these screenshots on the weekly for the week that just passed, okay? Now, well, first of all, we can clearly see this is in a nice uptrend, NVIDIA. But again, you have your moving averages are trending the same. Okay, you have momentum right here increasing, is just getting above the red, the 50-day. Volume is not above average. It's not really where I'd like it to be, but that's not, I wouldn't give up on NVIDIA just because of that. You have your relative strength really high. And also, NVIDIA is at all-time highs, I believe. I think it just, wait, is it? No, it's not. We're what, about $10 from all-time high? And we kind of pull back down a little to the 21 days, so I could see why volume's not picking up yet. But we're still in a good position with NVIDIA. Okay. Another stock within the tech sector was Apple. And again, you have your moving averages, they were a little tangled, just crossed, which is a good thing. It's smoothing out and they're kind of all going they are going in the same direction. You have the 21-day above the 50-day. Nice support on the 200. Again, the momentum is picking up. It's above that 50-day average. And the volume is right above the average. It's just a little over at it. I actually can't. Yeah, the comments were in the way. But yeah, we're right there at above average. Okay, so this is just showing you that there's multiple stocks within the tech sector that are aligned. Okay, so that's what you want to see. Even with Microsoft, same thing with Microsoft. Okay, we have the moving averages going the same. We have momentum just crossed over. And volume not above average, but again, wouldn't count it out. I would just, if you're looking for stocks in that sector and there's some that's not above average, I would just cancel those out and go with the ones that is above average. That's the way you can make things easier. Like just go with the one that has higher volume. Not to say that these won't move, but you have a better chance with the higher volume ones. Okay. Relative strength. It's above, it's doing good. Even with Cisco, I pulled up Cisco because that was like the least, that held like the least weight in the sector. I think it was at the bottom, like with 2% of the tech sector. But I'm still looking at it like, okay, well, we're right here at a moving average at support. I mean, they're still going in the same direction, uptrend. The momentum is above. It kind of dropped from the previous week, but it's still above. Volume's not there, and the relative strength is a little lower. So this is one that I probably wouldn't choose in the tech sector, but I would probably look at it in a way like, well, maybe this can be like an entry for, like an early entry before coming back to, I don't know if this is all-time highs or year to date. I'm not sure. But we're about, what, $2 away from that. I would look at it maybe like a support getting in. I would just have to weigh some more factors. But my point is, I wouldn't just count it out. I wouldn't use it as a stock to necessarily probably like day trade next week or something, but something to get in with a little bit of time, with it being like on a support level, if that makes sense. Someone said, I am a professed MACD reader. MACD wasn't really ever my thing. So yeah. So you have all these stocks kind of aligned, doing the same thing within the tech sector. Now, and I'm going to show you, we'll get on TradingView in a minute when we get to the next step. Now, if you like to play the market to the downside, within that app, we've seen that the energy sector it performed the worst, okay, on Friday, right? It was down 1%. So here are the stocks within that sector. So if I wanted to play some puts next week. Oh yeah, we did. I think we were in. Oh, are you in my Discord, aren't you? We were in BA on Friday. Yeah, we'll look at that. Well, actually, we're not doing like a watch list. We're doing just a 2-part series for the course. You know, Sundays we do our watch list live. But I might throw that in for y'all. Okay, so energy sector did not perform pretty well. So if you wanted to play market to the downside, you could look at some of these stocks. Now, again, this is the XLE sector stock. And let me see. Now, unlike the tech sector, you know, all the moving averages were kind of trending up. They weren't really tangled. It was a clear direction. It's not the case with XLE, okay? You're kind of entangled. Not really sure if this is crossing or what is going on. A little confusion. Are we going to hold here? But we have been consolidating here for a while. But there's no clear direction, right? Momentum is under the red line. I mean, your volume is right at average, but your relative strength is all the way under the red line. It clearly underperformed the general market. Okay, so these are stocks that you won't necessarily be looking to play calls on unless you're looking at it from a perspective of maybe this is support, I get some time or whatever. But for like a day trade, if you're trying to ride it up, no, your bias should not be long. It should be maybe shorting this stock, or it does need to kind of break out of this consolidation. But that's the sector. Now, some individual stocks. You have ExxonMobil. Again, consolidating, holding these averages, but they're tangled. There's no clear direction, really choppy. Momentum kind of steady. It's over the line, but it's kind of just consolidating. The volume is not above the average, and the relative strength again is way below the general market. Same thing with CVX, tangled. Momentum is under, so momentum is falling. Does not have no volume, and relative strength is low. Okay, so that is just showing you that there are multiple stocks within the energy sector that are doing the same thing, suggesting it's choppy, indecision. I wouldn't even say a downtrend. I would just say choppy for a lot of these oil stocks. Okay. Another one that was on there, SLB. Now, I thought this one was interesting. It's choppy. It's under the 21. It's under all the moving averages. Momentum is kind of consolidating. The buying pressure is above, way more than the other stocks. Now, it reclaimed the 21 with good volume. Now, this is one, even though everything's kind of choppy, I feel like maybe there was some news or something with this one because it looks better than most of the ones as far as like claiming the 21. Maybe it might start get some movement. The volume is above average, but the relative strength is horrible. But this one was something that I would kind of look more into, like just to kind of see what's going on with it. I've never traded it, but it interests me that the volume is pretty high, way more than the other ones. But not something that wouldn't be my first pick either as well. Okay, so that is for the sector, right? That's how you choose. That's how you look at the sectors and evaluate the sectors and what's going on, okay? Again, this is going to be, I'm going to post the replay on YouTube, and I'm also going to have the link for the PDF so you can have all this to look at on your own. Now to the second part, which is structure. So sector tells you where is the money flowing. Structure is going to tell you where is price on the map. Okay. Is price trending up, down, or sideways? Are we at a premium, a high area, or a discount, low area? Premium, high area can also translate to resistance. Discount, low area could also translate to support. Okay. The structure is going to let you know, should we be looking to buy or looking to sell? Now, with the checklist, you only need 2 things on your structure. You need a trend and you need some key levels. Okay. Again, structure, there's only 3 market structures. You're going to be either in an uptrend or a downtrend or consolidating sideways. How do you check the sector again? I have the app, SPDR app. I can't pull it up on my computer. We tried last time and I don't have the phone, but it's if you go to your app store, it's called SPDR sector, I think. This is like the home page of it when you get it downloaded, and this tells you all the sectors. But it's called SPDR sector. Okay, and y'all gotta get in the Discord because Daniel right here called a lovely play on Tesla. He was eating on Tesla. SPDR, not X, S like spider, SPDR. Yeah, he called a real good trade on Tesla on Friday. Okay, so where are we at? Sector, checklist, trend, key levels. Okay. Identify the trend using the EMAs, right? So the 20 SPDR, yeah, SPDR. Yep. So the 21-day you can use for like short-term momentum. The 50-day you can use for like medium-term. And the 200 is like long-term. I'm not sure why I didn't put that, but 200 is like long-term trend. So if the 21 EMA is above the 50, that can suggest an uptrend and you would look for calls. If the 21 EMA is below the 50 EMA, that could suggest a downtrend and look for puts or to sell. If EMAs are sideways, tangled, it's choppy. Avoid that. Okay. So remember we were looking on, okay, so the SLB, it's the 21-day. Oh, wait, let me turn it so y'all can see. The 21-day is under the 50, 21 below. That could suggest a downtrend. Okay. What is this? Chevron. See how they're tangled? That could suggest chop. Another chop, they're tangled. But with the tech, they were all clearly above. 21 is above the 50. 21 is above the 50. 21 is above the 50 uptrend. And you're lucky if you get it right when it crosses, or you can start riding that trend. Okay, so let's see, where were we at? Okay, and then with the structure, I'm not going to go deep into this, but because this will be more on your setup, like with your key levels. But within the structure, you want to mark your key levels, things like previous day high, previous day low, your swing lows and highs, because levels tell you where buyers defend, where sellers step in, and where breakouts and reversals can happen. Okay, and that's going to be geared more towards your setup. So I'm not going to go deep into that, but that's just something to consider. So when you're putting structure together, you're asking yourself, are we trending or ranging, and are we near a key level? Example, we're trending up. Price pulls back to a 20 EMA, which is a key level. Should say 21. We're right above the previous day high, a key level. That's a high probability that that is a bullish setup. You would take a long entry. Sector SPDR. Yeah, I think that's it. Sector SPDR. Yep, that sounds about right. Okay. For those, if you use TradingView, or if you're going to look into getting, not TradingView, excuse me, Thinkorswim, which I do recommend, this is a screenshot of the indicators that were on the chart on these screenshots that I was showing you guys. So all I had was the 21-day moving average, the 50, the 200. I have the momentum indicator, and you want to click on it. When you change the settings, you want to change it to 50. I think the default is 9. I changed it to 50. Hey, I didn't get a chance to say thank you for the Discord. It helps. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I have the volume average indicator on there, and it is the 50-day. I think I was saying that earlier. Like, I don't know if it's the 50-day, but it is the 50. And I have the relative strength. Okay. So those are the only indicators that I have that I was showing you from these screenshots. Okay. That's all those indicators that you see. Okay. Something for you to start. As time goes on, you're probably going to find your own indicators that you like. It happens like that. I didn't start using these. Somebody said they were like the MACD professor. I started with MACD, but I don't use it anymore. So now I'm going to go and show you guys some structures and how to find the structure. Okay. So we'll use these same examples like, so tech. So we'll start with tech. We'll go to the tech. This is energy. Tech is XLK, right? Yeah. Okay, so when I look for the market structure, now this goes into, I was telling you guys, I use TradingView as well too. I use Thinkorswim and TradingView. I like TradingView really just to find my setups and market structures and stuff. So if you wanted to find the structure for any stock or ETF, clearly, I mean, we could see this is an uptrend. It's really clear, but I have the, what is it called? On TradingView, I have the pivots, high and low indicator. Okay, for anybody that use TradingView, it's the pivots, high and low. I think I have everything at default. I don't think I ever changed anything on there. So what that does, it gives me like it automates like the swing highs and lows on the chart. And that's how it helps me find my structure, because you can kind of just connect them, right? So we don't have any showing here, but I do know the swing highs. We went over that in the course too, with swing high. Matter of fact, let me just, visuals are always better. So let me just briefly show y'all. I don't want to just keep saying stuff and y'all like, what? Because we went over this last week. We're about to start talking about swing highs. Okay, so swing highs are basically like, it's like a 3-candle setup. So that middle candle, the wick or the high of that candle should be higher than the candles on both sides. Okay, that is a swing high. Then your swing low, the low of that candle in the middle is lower than the one to the right and the left. Okay, when that occurs, when a swing low is created, that can suggest that sellers are exhausted and buyers are stepping in. Okay, so you see from this swing high, same thing. It could suggest that buyers are exhausted and sellers are stepping in. So sellers came from this uptrend, buyers, 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 buyers. We have this swing high. Buyers are kind of tired, so sellers step in and they start pushing the price, selling, 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 selling. Then we have a swing low created. Okay, sellers are tired. Buyers are going to start coming in. Buyers, 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 and so forth. Okay, that's what swing low and swing highs are. So that's what I'm referencing when I start talking about swing highs. So I was saying we don't have any automated, but I can see the swing highs, and that's what I would look at, right? So I like to use I have this, move it over, this parallel thing that I use, parallel channel. So for me, what I would do is, since we have this swing high, wait, before I even draw that, I'll show you guys. So first, you could come back to this swing high and you can mark it. If you come down to these swing lows and mark it. From this level, from about all of this, it was consolidating. Okay, so the structure was sideways, consolidating. It cannot form an uptrend or a downtrend until this 270 was broken or this 255-ish area was broken. Eventually, it broke the 270 area. It broke out of that and it started an uptrend. Okay, so this is a market structure, trading sideways. And now, since we broke that, and the next, there's a swing high that was created above this one, which would be this, because this candle is higher. I'm just gonna, let me mark it for visual purposes because it's not. Okay, right there will be a swing high. Now, I would take the parallel channel. You can come to the swing high and then kind of go to, let me see where this one is, 290.70, 290.82, 291. So this one is higher than this one in this candle. So all I'm doing is like connecting it, click it. Hold on. Wait. Once you click it and then you can drag it down and click it again, now you have an uptrend. This is your new market structure. So we got above this. We created a swing high above this one. So now we are in an uptrend. We're making higher highs. So we're here, we came down, we're here, we came down, and now we're probably trying to make our way back up and so forth. So the market structure for the tech sector as a whole, because I'm on the daily time frame. When I'm finding my structure, I like to find it on the daily. Okay. When we were just looking at the sector performance, I was looking at the weekly because that gives you a lot more data, like how it performed that whole week. But as far as structure, I do like to find it on the daily chart, daily or higher. Daily is my sweet spot. Okay. So we went from a consolidating structure, we broke out, and now we're in an uptrend. So now that we know that XLK technology sector, no, I don't trade the whole sector. I'm just showing you how to find structure. Some people do trade the ETFs. I don't trade the structures. This is just, I'm going from top to bottom. We're going to go down to individual stocks. But I don't know if you were here in the beginning. We were just talking about sectors, like when you're finding. So the 4S system, it's sector, structure, setup, and strike. So you need to see where the money is flowing, which is the sector. You need to see what that sector is doing, and then you find stocks within the sector. So we knew the tech sector performed the best last Friday. So I'm just finding the structure for the tech sector. Okay, so it's kind of in an uptrend. You will have a bias for the tech sector, but you would also consider, well, if it's going to respect the trend, it don't have a lot more to go before it maybe starts coming down, because it's going to follow the trend. So you just keep that in mind. We're just looking to keep all this stuff in mind. New here, thank you. As I'm trying to learn, where can I learn? As a beginner, felt like I missed a lot. Click the Discord. Click the link in my bio for the Discord, and it has all the replays for the courses in the learning material. Do you find the sectors on daily or weekly? So were you here in the beginning, or did you just get here? Beebs. So I think she just got here. Okay, just came. So we just went over, and I'll have the replay of this too. But just because you got here, we kind of went over the sectors. Okay, so we looked at this, and tech sector performed the best. And when I did go over it, we were looking on the weekly chart. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you've seen that because the camera's so angled, messed up. Okay. So we were looking at the sectors. Tech did the best. I was on the weekly chart when I went over these for the sectors. Okay. So now I'm going over structure, and we move down to the daily chart. Okay. All right. So now we know, okay, tech is in an uptrend. Now let's go look at some individual stocks for the tech sector, which we went over. Nvidia was the heaviest weighted. Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, so we're just focusing on structure. Let's find the structure of Nvidia, because that's the number one stock in the tech sector. Now, I'm looking. Again, I see these two swing highs right here, 184, 48, 47. It's kind of the same. If I just put that there, and then if I just put something there with this swing low at 164, all I did was put some lines. I can say, okay, well, from like all of this, sorry, I was trying to read that text. All of this could suggest consolidation, right? Because it's not really an uptrend. We're kind of going to this, these are equal levels coming down. We just consolidated within this range from about 164 to 184. Now, if you were following this consolidation, even though it's not a trend, you can still, when it got up here, you could kind of play puts because you're thinking it's going down. When it came down to these areas, you could play it up, but it's still choppy. No trend. This is consolidation. Now, we did just break out of this 184.48, but although we broke out, it didn't really hold, and we're kind of back in this consolidation area. So I would say like Nvidia is still consolidating, but it's on. You can look at it as maybe it came down to retest this breakout. So we break out here, and then we come up, and it's probably came down to retest. It didn't hold, but we're breaking out again. Let me see where the volume is. This is the daily. Volume wasn't all that high, but the tech sector is in the uptrend. Nvidia holds the most weight. I would not be bearish on it, that's for sure. So I would my bias would be like, okay, we're probably going to attempt to break out again. Okay, that would be my bias on Nvidia. And let me change my thing. I was trying to let it low. My My charts weren't loading for some reason, like the weekly. Let me see if I could change it here. Wait a minute. Can I change it here? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I never knew that. I usually have them up here somewhere. I don't know where they went. But anyways, I'm kind of looking at the weekly. And again, this gives you just more precise. You know, the daily was a little more detailed. It's more precise, like, yeah, it's consolidating. You know, it's not really in a trend. Not yet, but possibly about to break out. The week closed as like a hammer candle. So my bias would be like maybe getting ready to break out for NVIDIA. Now let's find the structure on, what was another one? Apple. Someone said gonna break down what? NVIDIA? You think NVIDIA is gonna break down? Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. I'm gonna come back to your comments. Apple, where are we on Apple? Okay, Apple, let's go to the daily. Okay, now Apple, I see the structure is an uptrend. I can just tell, but I'm gonna show you guys, mark it out for y'all. Okay, so we have back here. Wait, y'all can't see, huh? I gotta remember that. So back here, I can already see this was chopped, consolidating. We broke out of this level and made a new high up here. So we broke this consolidation range. Just do a quick box for visual. We broke out of this consolidating range and we formed an uptrend. So I would take this, I can mark from this swing high and you just connect it to the next one. Click it and then drag it down. There's your market structure. Uptrend for Apple. Okay. We're here. We came down, up, top of the channel, down. We're up. We're kind of at the middle of the regression. So I mean, it's not much more to go, but we can probably try to make it back to this top, or it may want to fall. We're at the middle of the regression line. I would be, just because the tech sector, yeah, the market's about to crash hard. Okay. That's what someone says on there. I was using the parallel channel. Okay, so you click it. You click your first one, drag it wherever you stop, click it, and then you pull down wherever you want it, and then click it again. Okay, so we just found the structure for Apple. That's how you create your bias. Okay, so like I said, we're kind of in the middle of this regression line. Let me see. I don't know where my thing went. I don't like typing this. If you come to the weekly again, you can see we're kind of on the weekly. We're right kind of at the top. So yeah, maybe a little caution, maybe not too much more to go up. Maybe kind of get ready if you like to play the market to the downside, and maybe get ready for a little pullback, or just wait on the pullback and ride it back up. Go back to the daily. So we just doing structure right now. The setup and strike will be next week, and that's where we kind of really find the setup and where we would trade it. But I'm trying to because a lot of people say it was really crash coursey. So I'm trying to go into depth on each element a little bit more. Oh, the ones that change my candles, I have the strat. That's the strat. That's a whole different strategy. See, that's all that is the strat. Okay, so Apple is in an uptrend. What else was in tech? Microsoft. I'm just trying to show y'all examples of how to find the structure. Let's see. Microsoft. This I see a cup and handle pattern. So let me see. This was a clear uptrend. Hold on. We were in this downtrend for a while. We broke out of this 448. But you see how we created a swing high up here and then one down here and it's lower? But I don't see that as, let me see. You can, okay. So do you guys see how I did that? I wouldn't technically, all I did was take it from this swing high to this next swing high. And then I bring it down to this swing low right here. Now, this would kind of suggest a downtrend. I wouldn't necessarily say a downtrend. I think that Microsoft has this cup and handle going on. So what I think happens, what I think is going on here is we had this massive uptrend for a while. I think it's kind of cooling off and setting up for the next move, which I only say that because I see this cup and handle and I'm a pattern trader as well. And I might do some lessons on that. So we have a cup and handle forming, and I bet it's by the moving average. I knew it. You have your handle kind of by the moving average. I think it's just getting ready for a next leg, also known as a breakout because it's about to break out here. You have 1, 2, you have 3 taps. So it's possibly getting ready to break out. Now, if it doesn't break out, it very much could fall back down here and just really be in a downtrend. I said I'm a pattern trader as well. I trade patterns, cup and handle, double bottoms. Those are some of the patterns that I like to trade. So we're pattern traders. I didn't say we, I said me. I don't know what kind of traders you guys are. So yeah, anyways, but can you explain cup and handle? Cup and handle, so it's, let me see. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Look at my search engine. I don't know what'll be popping up on here. So patterns are just, there's a lot of patterns out there. But let me just show you an example. And while we're talking about it, this book right here, can y'all see How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill? This helped me a lot on my patterns and my long-term investing. Highly suggest that. So, okay, the people that are coming saying, look at stocks, I do stock watch list live on Sundays where I go over stocks. This is like dedicated to the course that I did last week, but I'm breaking it down to be Blockchain Bullhorn. She can't even explain cup and handle without Googling it. You go ahead, though. Life is crazy. Why are you here? I can explain it, but there's people who don't know what it is, so I'm giving them a visual. Do you know what visuals are? But you're welcome to stay. Where were we? Okay. So let's find, let me find a picture for you. Hold on, because it ain't clicking. I think I got some connections. Okay, let me zoom. So, okay, what cup and handle is basically a pattern on the chart. You see you have your cup right here. This is your cup. This measures your depth. Like I said, in this book, it goes over it a lot too, specifically like your like how much the depth should be and all that, where the handle should land, where it's a high probability that it's going to break out and stuff like that. So you have your cup and this is your handle. Now, what you're looking for on the cup and handle is this breakout of the handle, right? So it's setting up for a move. Now, where were we? Microsoft, I said we were on the cup and handle. So you see how if you took that visual that I showed you, you can see your cup formed right here, and this will be your handle. So you would suggest that if this cup and handle plays out, we would get a breakout move soon. Okay, so we have this part on Microsoft right now and maybe anticipating that breakout. Okay, so that's what I was looking at on the cup and handle for Microsoft. And again, that would be the structure, but we did make lower highs. And we'll see where, I think a couple days we need a little more data to see if we're going to actually break out of this channel or if we're going to reject and start making our way down. What other one was in tech that we were looking at? I think we looked at Cisco, but that was like not. Let's just see what this one is. This is the one that I said was kind of interesting. No, that we were talking about an oil stock, not this one. Hold on. Oh, let me go down to the new messages. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let's see where we at. You can also trade the reversal on the right side of the cup formation. Let me go back and point that out. Was it Microsoft? Wait, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to catch up to the comments. The reversal to the right side. Are you saying like if it reversed from here? It says you can also trade the, so this is where your target is after the breakout. Life is crazy. I think you should host a course because you have it sounds like you have an idea of what should be taught and stuff. So I think you should host a live and teach that on yours. Because you sound like you have a plan. And I think you should execute your plan to your followers. I think that would do you some justice. But you can clearly see your levels that you can target for Microsoft. We have a high of 555. You have some resistance here. All you would do is target previous resistance. Hold on, y'all. I'm catching up to the comments. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. What's the name of the book? The book was called How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. It's a call if you're going up. It's a call if you're going up and a put if you're going down, correct. Short is a put if it's going down, correct. But volume is a factor as is price action before the breakout. Did we not go over? Okay, he's blocked now. Did we not go over volume? Did I not say that in the beginning, you guys? That volume is paired? Okay. So if I'm betting the market's going to go down, that's a put, yes. Gemini Moon thinks, yes. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to catch up on these comments. I didn't even know they were there. Yeah, he was irritating. I blocked him. Short is a call if you're selling it. I don't sell shorts or calls. The other strategy, short is a call if you're selling it. Like if you're selling a contract. No, short is a put. What is y'all? Okay, anyways. What were we? I forgot my train of thought. Okay, anyways. I was about to look at Cisco because that was on the lower end of the weight, just to kind of find the structure, just examples of different structures. So right here you have, so I have this latest swing high up here. Well, previous swing high, I should say. Then we have this 65, 75, and the 66 kind of in the general area. So for Cisco, I would say that this is chopping, especially since we have this high at 72.55 and then the low at 65.75, and we're just trading inside of that. So this market structure is definitely consolidation. You can, like, I would set my alert for the 72.55 when we kind of get up there, see if we're going to break out and form an uptrend, or if we're going to get up here and kind of come down, keep consolidating. But we're not going to get no real movement until we either break 72.55 or the 65.75. Michael said, okay, got it. If I'm betting the market's going up, that's a long. And shorts are puts, yes. If you're going long on the market, you're buying calls, you're bullish up. If you're shorting the market, you're bearish. After you do, put it in the group. Put what in the group? How confusing me. Okay. So this is the market structure for Cisco consolidation. Okay, you're either trending up, trending down, or consolidating. We looked at some oil as oil performed the worst. So this is the oil sector ETF. To me, it's really choppy. It looked like we tried to start an uptrend right here, but then we broke down and we breached all of these. So that uptrend didn't work. So now it looks to be choppy. We're still in this range. Again, you can draw it out like that level. This was, okay, let me show y'all what I'm saying. So right here, we were consolidating, right? We needed to break these, okay, to get a breakout and maybe start a trend. We got it right here, and we started what appeared to be an uptrend. You just take that. Well, what happened was we fell out of the trend. The trend was broken, and we breached all these levels. So now we're probably back to this consolidating area, right? So now we're here, and we're going to probably, I don't know for how long, but I'm just drawing it out. We're probably going to consolidate, but you can go off this consolidation too. This is just if you were, I know there's strategies that you can play the market to the, you could play the market sideways, whatever they're called, spreads, something like that, right? Or you could follow past history and you might could get a put, write it down to about 84 and get out, and so forth, up and down. But yeah, this is back into consolidation, it looks like. See how that works? I see most people who are serious about trading have a computer and do it there instead of a phone. I mean, yeah, computer. You need a computer. But if you're on the go and all you got is a phone, that could work too. But yeah. Do you do this off your cell phone too? When I'm on the go, I'll look at my phone. If it breaks out a third time, it's going to skyrocket. Are you talking about TradingView will help you mark your patterns, etc. if you need to? Yeah. I'm sorry, what the book name again? I don't know if you need that name again still, but How to Make Money in Stocks. I'm trying to stay caught up with these comments. You can sell calls or puts and make money on Theta Decay also. I'm sure you can. I've never did that strategy. Iron Condor. That's the one for sideways, right? Iron Condor strategy. I've heard of that so many times. Never tried it though. Okay. So that's the sector. Let's see. And again, we're just examples of finding market structure. I'm not even giving plays, entries, nothing. That's going to be next Saturday. We'll focus on those two. Again, and this all coincides with what we were looking at on the notes, how the moving averages, everything was kind of tangled, choppy, sideways. That's exactly what the structure is given to. So this is Exxon. I'm just kind of marking. Okay, and again, consolidating. No real movement here until we get a breakout. Okay, looks like we tried here, didn't quite work. But we need to get above this. So this is sideways action. Now I'm trying to find some downtrend stocks because we did a lot of uptrend, sideways. Let me see. Pull out my stock list. Let me see. What is this? Adobe sideways. Looks like Airbnb. Well, it was like briefly in a downtrend. Looks like this just kind of broke out, but that's a downtrend for you. Wait. This is you know what? This is kind of interesting. Because what we had was, let me see. Okay, we'll start from here. This has a few examples in one chart. Oh, hold on, y'all can't see, huh? Go right here. Okay, from this 163 to here. Okay, we had this downtrend for a minute back there, right? All I did was connect the highs together. So we're making lower highs and lower lows, downtrend. In order to break this downtrend, we have to get above the latest swing high, which was before this happened. Before all this happened, the latest swing high was this 131. Came down, and then we did kind of get one right here. And you can see right here, we created one above the 131. So it broke out and we created a new one here. But we really didn't do much. Once it broke out, it kind of just consolidated. Which typically it does do that after, hold on, these boxes. I was trying to go like, okay, y'all get the idea. I can't get it exactly up there, but y'all see what I'm getting at, right? So after it comes out of this downtrend, it starts consolidating, and then it's like, it goes back into a downtrend. And now we may be forming an uptrend. I'm going to mark this 127. We have to get above that and stay above it, which we closed above it, but then it's kind of just lingering right here. Can you see that? So we need to get way above this 127 and close above, and it might start an uptrend. But this was a good example to show we have downtrend, consolidation, downtrend. Name of candles and cattle. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. I like to focus on hand, but the patterns that I typically like to trade are the cup and handles and double bottoms. Hold on, let me see what I missed. I like to focus on a handful of stocks to master the movement they do, but you definitely need to learn. Yes, we said that earlier. Pick you like 1 to 2 stocks from each sector and study those. Be familiar. I teach option, action, all strategies, vertical calls, puts, butterflies. Wow. Yeah, there's so many strategies. I'm gonna have to check you out. We did NVIDIA. We went over NVIDIA structure. What chart are we looking at? I'm late. We're doing market structure just on random stock. So this was, of course, we're not doing the tomorrow. Sundays, I do my watch list live, you guys, for those that just came. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Every Sunday, I do watch list live where I go over stocks that I'm looking for to trade the next week. This was kind of still just dedicated to the beginner's course that I went over last weekend. I just broke it down in 2 parts so that we can go more into depth. Okay, we covered sector, and now we're just focused on structure, finding your structure. You got to know the structure of a stock before you trade it. Okay, I'm just kind of going through my list. Okay, this already had it drew on there. This is ADMA, which is a this is a biotech stock, which I'm actually getting in this long term. I have been studying this stock, but anyways, I already have this on there. It's in a downtrend, as you guys can see. But I have some support down here for some reason. I don't know why I drew this box, but we made it back down to that level. If you're into biotech, this is something not necessarily to trade, but I was looking to get in this stock long term, like actual shares. So yeah. I'm trying to find something that I didn't mark already. Okay, this one just, okay. Yeah, something at 200. Looks like we just broke this. So this 200 level looks like it had been resistance for a while. Look like we just broke out of that. Might be possibly, let me see. So we broke this level. We have a swing high here. It's not really, well. I wouldn't say an uptrend. Maybe we broke out and then kind of just consolidating. I need some more data on this one, but we recently broke this 200, well, 28. This is a swing high. This is a swing high. Yeah, possibly an uptrend. I don't like the data on this one, though. $201, let's see. AMD been going crazy. We had a gap up. It was already in an uptrend. And then we gapped up. Let's see. Jeez. This is like, that was a low. It fell out. At this point, it fell out. It was probably trying to make its way back in anyways, but gapped up. Because what went on with AMD? Somebody invested, or somebody bought like the chips, right? What happened with AMD last week? Somebody invested all this money in their chips, right? So yeah, we're back in that channel. We had this uptrend. We kind of fell out here. Consolidating, gapped up. We back in this channel. That's the structure. That's what I trade, options. Amazon, I had something to do. Oh, I think I just did something on Amazon. I was anticipating this breakout. So we're kind of in a downtrend. Yeah, I think last week I did this video. My entry was this 224, targeting 226, 228, 231, 234. So downtrend, possible breakout of this structure. What is this? Uptrend on that. Somebody said BA. We were talking about that in the Discord. We're in a downtrend again. Look like we're going to break out. On these downtrends, if you have like 3 touches, typically you can get a breakout after that. So watch for that. Okay, so does anybody have questions on sector or structure? Because that's really all that we were supposed to be talking about. So do you do 1 minute trades or no? I might enter on the 1 minute, but like I don't typically like scalp trade like that. I might enter on the 1 minute. So any confusion on sectors or structure? Okay, so this, the material that we were working out of, I will have, again, for those that just got here, this is kind of what we went over. If you click the link in my bio for my Discord, join the Discord. I'm going to put the link for this material in there so you can have this to look at, because this is what we went over. So I'll have the link for that, and it has the link for the replay of last week, and I'm also going to have the link for the replay of this in there. Okay, So overall, we were just going over the 4S system. That is the system that I follow before getting in my trades. I look at the sectors to see where the money's flowing. And then I pick a stock from the sector. I look at the structure of that stock. Okay, you find the market structure. It's either going to be trending up, down, or sideways. And that will give you your bias. If you're trending up, you should be looking to take calls. If you're trending down, you should be looking to take puts. If it's choppy, you should be sitting on the sidelines unless you play the strategy for sideways action. Okay, so we were only going over the sector and the structure today. Next Saturday, we're going to go over the setup and the strike, which is your setup and your entries. Okay. Anyone heard about Energy X? It's not public yet. Okay, so no questions on sector or structure, because that's all the material. Go back. Uh-oh. Tesla's dump Friday was nice. Okay, so we covered all that. Let me look at, even though I'm not going to go deep into a watch list because I haven't even created it. But yeah, Tesla was crazy. Somebody in the Discord traded Tesla for like 200%, I think he got. Yeah. Tesla. Going to 368 before it goes up. What, Tesla? All the way to 368? Dang. I don't know. That's a far drop. Where it came from, 368? This. You know, there is a fair value gap right here. It could. I mean, I think something 368. Yeah, because I remember I played this, we broke out, came and retested. Yeah, it might, especially we do have this gap right here. Definitely could see 400 for sure. I think if we breach 400, might make its way down there. No retest of what? This 368 level? Yeah, it's a fair value gap. 396 next is just playing. Handle break. Yep. Can we look at SPY? Sure. Okay. I have not drawn SPY, the structure anyway, so we're clearly in an uptrend. But what I'm seeing, hold on. SPY been going crazy. We had to get over this level, this 576, which we did here. It's like very steep. Let me see. It's like we kind of fell out the channel trying to make our way back in. But what I'm noticing with SPY, oh no, I didn't even see this candle right here. We are back in. Oh yeah, SPY We just got back in this trend. We can at least try to make our way to the regression line. That's real interesting. At least to the regression. Let me go to the weekly. Because we just, oh my God, Friday, did it make a new high on Friday? That's a new high for SPY, right? I didn't really trade. I did trade Friday, but I don't trade SPY. So it's just at all-time highs. Okay, so you got to be careful with SPY. Just made a new one on Friday. We have this swing low right here. I think as long as we stay above this 663, it's a swing low. This confirmed the swing low, so your entry would have been a break of that. That's probably why we had a nice gap up. If we breach 663, make our way down. But we're at all-time high, so it's really no data to follow. You got to play it above every day's high until it kind of figures out what it's doing. But we do have this regression line up here. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of made its way up next week too. And then we have, is this the last, what do we have this regression line up here? I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of made its way up next week too. And then we have, is this the last, what are we, what's today? Meta's reporting. I could see SPY making new all-time highs again this week. It's a lot of earnings about to come up. So watch out for that. Trade different. I'm going to follow you. Let's chop it up one day. I'll send you a message. Okay, for sure. Okay. All right, y'all. So, again, join me tomorrow. I've been trading the 15-minute opening breakouts. Oh, yeah, I love that strategy. I think I have that on here, yeah. I think it goes on the 5-minute. Let me see. I haven't traded that in a long time. I think I'm going to, when we go over entries and stuff and actual trading next Saturday, I'm going to talk about that 15-minute ORB strategy. I like that strategy. Last Friday, it looks like it broke out. Oh, yeah, you could, a $2 trade if you're doing 0-day expirations. When we broke out the 15 ORB here, it came and retested. Not a lot of movement, but that would have made you some money. Yeah. What's the best indicator to use with the strat? The strat. I mean, the strat is a whole, I'm not even going to get into the strat because that's a whole different strategy that I think strats, for me personally, like indicators with the strat, I think the strat is a whole indicator in itself. It's really based on price movement, which, I mean, indicators are technicals too, but the strat, like, you're really just following the candles and looking for those, like, fair value gaps and stuff. Okay, y'all. So I'm about to get off. We went over sector and structure. Like I said, click the link for the Discord and you get all the material. Yeah, there is no indicator with the strat. It's just price action that you follow. Nice way to put it. It's all price action with the strat. Thank you. What time tomorrow? Sundays we do 8 p.m. CDT time. So tomorrow I'll have a predetermined watch list for next week. That's what we go over. So y'all get y'all stocks ready. We can talk about it tomorrow. All right. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. That's if I could end it.